G'day, Ben here from Lens Rental. I'm down at Sydney Motorsport Park and I'm checking out the Fuji 100 to 400mm Super Telephoto Lens from Fuji. One of the things I'm most interested in from a motorsport point of view is the panning. They claim that the image stabilization knows when you're panning and it only stabilizes in the vertical plane, not the horizontal, so it allows for awesome panning control.
The Fujifilm XF 100 to 400mm F4.5-5.6 is a professional, weather-resistant super telephoto zoom lens for your Fujifilm X series interchangeable lens camera. If you want to try this lens out for yourself, you can hire it from ozlensrental.com. As soon as I took this lens out of the box, I could feel this is a well-built lens. Everything is nice to touch and everything moves smoothly. However, for a lens of this price though, there seems to be a lot of plastic, and I'd expect a lens of this price range to have less plastic in its construction. The other thing that bugged me a little bit with this lens is it's supplied with a soft cloth bag, and I was hoping to see Fuji move in the same direction as other manufacturers and provide a nice padded case for this lens. The tripod foot rotates around the axis of the lens, so it's easy to switch from landscape to portrait and anything in between. The way the foot attaches is more complex than it needs to be. It attaches with 2 screws, and getting it off is no problem, but getting it back on can be a little bit fiddly. I guess the foot is usually kept attached to the lens, so this is not a deal breaker. I would like to see a better tripod foot. Fuji have an Arca Swiss style foot you can buy as an additional extra, but in my opinion, it really should come with a lens of this price. So it's a 100 to 400mm is the focal length of this lens, and it covers the 35mm equivalent of 152 to 609mm. The zoom is controlled with a rotating ring, and the lens grows about a good 8cm longer when the zoom is used. The R stands for aperture ring, and this means the lens is equipped with an aperture ring, which is one of my favourite Fuji features. It means you can control the aperture just by rotating the ring about the lens.
Well, I'm pretty excited now. A whole bunch of Audis and Porsches have just come out on the track. I've dialed the lens in, I've gone to shutter priority, and I've got it on 60th of a second, and I'm low down at track height. So what I'm hoping is that I can shoot some beautiful images with these fast cars as they come past, and we'll really test out this image stabilization system in the Fuji to see if it actually does what they say it's supposed to do.
This lens has twin linear motors that gives it fast and quiet autofocus. It's ideal for fast moving objects like aircraft or motorsports. The autofocus system is internal, so there's no rotating front element when focusing, which is great news for polarizing filter use. There is also a focus limiter switch, so you can set the focusing to the full range of 1.75 meters to infinity or 5 meters to infinity to stop it focus hunting.
So I've moved down to the main straight here, and there's some pretty fast cars coming out. I've already had a go with some of the other quick supercars that have come past, and because they're going so fast, it's extremely difficult. But I'm going to sit here for this next race and see how many I can get.
OIS is for Optical Image Stabilization. It's a 5-stop image stabilization system and apparently the most powerful in any super telephoto zoom lens. Also, if panning is detected, the lens automatically switches camera shake correction to the vertical plane only. The WR stands for weather resistant. This lens is both water and dust resistant and can be used in temps down to -10 degrees Celsius. As for the glass, this lens has 21 elements arranged in 14 groups, with 5 ED, which stands for extra low dispersion lens elements, and has 1 super ED lens. And this helps stop chromatic aberration. All this glass means this lens weighs in at just under 1.4 kilos, and it has a zoom lock to stop the lens creeping when walking around. This lens is compatible with Fuji's 1.4x teleconverter. Now, I've seen other reviews compare this lens to the Canon 100 400mm lens, and they say it's not as well built, but it's kind of dumb to compare this to anything else. If you're after a super telephoto lens for your Fuji, you don't have any choice. This is it.
This lens is really shaping up to be a fantastic lens. I'm really impressed by how well it works. And I've got to say that if you're looking for a super telephoto lens for your Fuji camera, then this lens is the lens for you. I mean, you don't have any choice, but if you are considering it, then I would suggest you give it a go.